Globally, studies continue, to show that exposure to explicit content at an early age can influence attitudes towards relationships, sexuality, and mental well-being. So at the time, the experts caution that restrictions alone may not address the deeper psychological, social, and educational issues surrounding online behavior. So where should the balance lie? Is this a necessary step to protect vulnerable minds, or could it create unintended consequences that outweigh its benefits? Today, that's what we want to talk about, because Sam George is in the news. He says without a national ID like a driver's license or a Ghana card, you cannot access a porn site. Take a listen to him.
And I keep saying that, look, we don't need to rewrite the script. Today in the United Kingdom, for you to access a pornographic website, you need to put your driver's license for them to be able to determine that you are 18 years. Ask yourself why they are doing that. Because they've seen the danger and the damage that pornography and over-sexualization have done to a generation of young UK citizens. And that's why for us, we believe that in Ghana here, and we're working with going to cabinet on that, to make sure that before you access any X-rated site, you must put either your driver's license or your national ID card, so that we know who you are and who is going to that site, to prevent children from being exposed to such content. This is the real threat. Because when a child is over-sexualized at an early age, it affects their development, it affects their thinking, it affects even their morality and their values and their standards. And the only way to break a people is to go after the children. Because when the children are destroyed and damaged, that culture, that culturalization gets damaged. The fight against Africa is not against those of us sitting in this room. We were a lost case. The fight is against our children. And that's why when myself and my colleagues in Ghana introduced the Family Values Bill, one of our key arguments has been that we're fighting for the innocence of Ghanaian children, because our children must be protected and safe. We were protected by our parents in an African family setting. We must do same for our children and grandchildren.
We must do same for our children and our grandchildren. I don't know what you make of what you heard from the communications minister there, Sam George. He says, listen, for people who would want to, explore or visit porn sites on the internet, well, you need to show your Ghana card, you need to show your driver's license, as is done in the UK, before you can have access to it. That's our conversation today. What do you make of his thoughts? He says very soon it will be taken to cabinet, and if cabinet approves it, I'm sure it will come to parliament, and they'll deliberate upon it and maybe pass it into law. What's your take on this? And we'll be joined by a psychologist shortly. We shall be joined by a psychologist shortly, who'll be telling us what he makes of this. Especially when children are exposed to pornography, the impact, the effect it has on them, and all that. Even adults, some people are even saying that for some adults, they even need protection from pornography, because the things that happen in pornography, and I'll not deny the fact that I've watched porn before, but the things that happen in pornography, in some instances, people want to transform, apply them in marriage. And you might not be able to do some of the things in there, and it creates problems. So even adults ought to be protected from pornography. But the fact that you have to produce or make available your driver's license or your Ghana card before you can have access, to a porn site, what do you make of it? Is this something that is going to help children, protect children, or you think that is something that's not really necessary, like Yindam is saying? Where do you stand on this?
Checkered situation right here. Porn is very dangerous, no doubt about that. And the grip that it has on you in terms of addiction is even stronger than some of the strongest drugs we know on the street. Once it gets hold of you, it's extremely difficult to break away from it. You need a whole lot of help from many different sources before you can truly free yourself from addiction of porn. And the effect that it has on you psychologically, socially, emotionally, and everything. I mean, it's the results or the evidence is clear. So, like you said, even some adults need help or needs to be saved from watching pornographic material. But then also, if you are talking about adults, we also have freedoms to make the choices of our own. It's enshrined in our constitution, and anything that would seem to kind of take away that freedom will be problematic. aside from that, I don't know. Maybe if we should have gotten somebody who's in tech. I think.
So yes, I tried so hard to get someone who's in tech.
Yeah.
I was given a name, Richard Apel.
Okay.
And I think he does some work too for AU and all that. I tried hard. I didn't get it because I wanted to have a bit of understanding as to what happens even in the behind the scenes.
Exactly.
Because one question that popped up on my mind is this: so you're preventing children from having access to a porn site. But what if some adults who have made his information available to you, like his Ghana card, his license, and has access to a porn site? We're perverts around. And this adult who has access, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old, is watching the porn with a minor. How do you manage that? There are people who already may have the porn downloaded on their phone, and they want to share it with somebody else who is a minor. How do we manage all this?
Yeah, you know the video I sent you about this teenager.
So I think he will not be beyond 17 years old.
So probably 15 or 16 years.
Yeah.
Also, Marco bears 6,000 on the phone. So, right, and he was saying it proudly. His friends were like, "Oh, people no trade too much." I was like, "Today I have more than 6,000 of them on my phone." And then when you listen to the audio, I was like, "Oh, heard the Safari a history." And all. So which means all his time is used to watch these materials. And I was talking about, you know, the kind of digital footprints that you can leave on your website. And imagine if somebody gets hold of that information and what they can do to you. We all know about how people are exposing people on social media and blackmailing them and all of that. How safe will it be if somebody uses their real identity to check into some of these things? Even with paid porn sites that people use their bank details to buy, you know, most of these porn sites have the free one and then the paid one, and you know how tricky they are. Nowadays it's just like how they use social media. You go into the site, sometimes you even have an account.
Wow.
Yeah, you open an account.
Okay, and that is why that Russian who came to Ghana, who slept with some Ghanaian ladies, recorded them doing the act. He put it on his site and was making money from it. Oh, okay.
So it's like that. We have one. There's one particular one that has become very popular nowadays. It wasn't supposed to be for porn, but they took over. It's called OnlyFans. So the purpose of that website was you to create something, anything that you create, and then the people who like what you create will pay money and watch you on your page. So if it is movie reactions that you are doing, if you are creating something, anything at all, and of course these things they call them content. So they create sexual contents, they put it on there, and the people pay to watch it. It has become really popular. I know one girl, I think it was in Canada or Australia or so. She came to a Twitter page and said, "Tomorrow morning I'm going to show my nipple. So if you pay money, then I'll show it tomorrow at this time." And overnight, she got about 2 million dollars. Overnight.
$2 million?
Yeah.
Just to go and watch a nipple?
Yeah, just to go and watch a nipple. Because, say, Airful, right? You pay like $10, $20, and then thousands of people throwing in.
You engage with a lot of kids. First of all, how did they come about knowing about porn sites? And how do they access it?
Knowing about porn sites, dear, I mean, everybody knows. So
when you say everybody, are you saying to me, for example, that a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old knows about porn sites and know how to access the porn site?
I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
We've been joined by, our psychologists in the studios right now. Dan Fojo is here. Dan, good morning.
Good morning, David.
Trust you well.
I'm doing very well.
Right. Back to you.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they do. You know, so the things that kids do with phones and computers these days, you and I know, right? But what worries me the most is how easy the access is.
And that is what some judges' concern is.
So for me, if there was any solution, I think we should rather look at paid porn sites only.
The free ones?
And then ditch the free ones. If you are going to, if you want to access, then it has to be a paid porn site. So, because then you would need bank details to access those sites, or your Momo details and all of that. And children below 18 years usually do not have access to those things.
But some of them also have. You say usually, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But some of them also have.
Yeah, that's why I say usually. So if you really want to curb it, instead of telling people to put their personal details into a website to access it. I think we should rather move away from free porn sites to paid ones only. That's the only one that can be accessed, and then the adults can have their time to enjoy it the way they want to enjoy it, and then it will limit young people from going.
If you Google up and want to know the sites that are mostly visited in Ghana, out of the first 5, betting sites, porn sites are within the first 5.
Yeah.
So, Danny, you're a psychologist. What do you make of what Sam George is proposing?
Good morning to everybody. What the minister is proposing is something that is very important. It's like it's basically like a last resort to solve a problem that seems to be a problem that is unsolvable one way or the other. The issue about porn and what it does to the psyche of the individual has a huge link between the person's social development, the way the person interacts with people. I don't even want to jump into the same thing that Sam George has been talking about over the years, the LGBT thing, but the gender, at least for Ghana, what we recognize is the male and the female. And that means that these are the two main social characters that would interact to form the social ecosystem. And when a child is developing, we all know this, when a child is developing, what they learn is purely based on what they are observing, what they are looking at. Raw, the thing as it is raw. So even if you are in your home, the way you speak is how the child will pick it, even without you trying to. So you better speak the way that you want your child to speak.
In fact, what we're often told is that children imitate or copy what they see.
They see that.
What you say to them doesn't sink in as much as what they see, because they practice what they see.
Yes, because where they are within their development, especially at the highest point of their development, is the concrete stuff, what they have seen, and not what you are telling them and what you are trying to make them understand abstractly that this is how bad it is. No, they don't see that way. And when you see porn watching, if you're an adult, there's a problem there. That one, because you have control, you have that understanding, we can actually appeal to you in one way or the other to deal with those things. But with a child, it's different. The moment the child is exposed to it, the child's thinking social interaction, their thinking in social interactions is heavily fractured. And that is the reason, that is what he is trying to solve in his own way. The thing is that porn sites are so free in Ghana that if one way or the other, if we can curb access to it, at least we solve some part of the problem. There are kids that have already been affected. And if some of
thousands.
So oftentimes you sit back and you're like, oh, promiscuity is high in Ghana. Will you attribute the promiscuity as we're witnessing now, where we're having 10-year-olds having boyfriends and girls? Yesterday, I saw two kids going to school, on a TikTok video. They will not be, I think they are between 9 and 10. And whilst they were walking by the side of the road, the boy put his hand behind the waist of the girl. And I'm saying they will not be more than 10 years. And then the girl gently removed the hand from there. And this was videoed by somebody who was in a car. And they were the two ladies in the car, and they were even running commentary. So the boy put his hand behind the waist of the girl. The girl gently removed the hand. And then whilst they were walking, I don't know in the video what the boy told the girl. Then the girl simply just gives gentle slaps or taps to the guy's cheek, and then she then puts her hand around the guy's neck, from the shoulder. And then the girls were like, with the moon trying in the next 8 years, 10 years, no, the man be Ghana.
Exactly.
Exactly. So promiscuity, like you were saying, like in terms of my question, you're saying that can stem from the watching of porn sites and all that. What does it really do to their mind? Do they know what they are doing, or for them to appreciate, at their age what they're seeing, or is just flowing what they're seeing? What do you have to say?
Interestingly, when a child is developing at certain stages, especially where they are now getting in contact with other people within the society. They are now interacting more, which then forms their main social connection. What they do is that they transform all their energies into what is available to them. Normally, it should be academic work, schoolwork, because they've started school, now everything is in school. And then through play. Now, that's where it's interesting. The play that they are supposed to channel everything in, if everything that they are playing with, if the subject matter of their play becomes something else that could be detrimental to their self, then we are in trouble. Just take a look at the music that we listen to right now. The reason why all of us, we are still in love with the old music. Why? Because there is less profanity in it. Even if there is, it is so coded a child doesn't understand. Look at the music that we are listening to. All of it.
But the music you're talking about, let me take you back a few years.
Yes.
Look, we all have heard about Mommy and Papa before, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
And during the Mommy and Papa time that people did, some of them went to the extreme. Was it from a porn site they watched? Or was it something they saw their parents do? What brought about the Mommy and Papa? Because that also creates a problem for children, didn't it?
Oh, so what the child saw that created Mommy and Papa was porn.
But was porn easily accessible at the time?
No. So the few, see, for every society, there is always the bad nuts in there. For every society. Now, the moment the percentage of the bad nut becomes bigger, that's when you have a problem. If you have a huge percentage of those that are good, if you have like 90 or 98% of the children not exposed to porn, then you would have a certain society being created, like the next generation behind you having a better social interaction than when you have like 60 or maybe 40% of kids exposed to porn. You are going to have really big problems. You see, if the child's mind, everything around the child is now playing with. If you ask a child to sing a song right now, I remember there was a time we asked in church, you asked a child to sing one song and he started singing a song that had a lot of profanity in it. The child doesn't know.
Because that's what has registered.
That is what is there. And it is because those that are singing, some of them are very young people. One way or the other, they were born in the 90s, coming to the 2000s, where internet was so free. So they also had access to it, and now they are a little grown. They are grown in their 20s, late 20s, and they are now the ones singing. And look at the profanity that comes out of them. Look at the inhibition, disinhibition that they exhibit, even when they are talking. Everything is just there because of what they have been exposed to. You see, nakedness is heavily linked to how socially you position yourself in a way. Because if you are normalizing nakedness so much, we seem to have this kind of certain social approach to things. Nothing else is supposed to be censored. So what else? What else again? So the child, every domain of the child's development or every domain of the child's being is affected because now they don't seem to understand why this is wrong to see.
So is this policy a practical way of addressing that problem if it should be rolled out? So a practical way to solve
it is part of the way. It is a practical way. Because for a politician like him and his position that he's holding, that is what he can do. Because we all know, David, as it is now, when we were growing up, to even see a beer advert on TV, that should be like after 8 p.m. Because you will never see a beer advert on TV. Now a beer advert is shown on TV 12 midday.
But there's a law against that actually in terms of the advertising.
It's there, you know. Now he's trying to push for something that may be there, but it's not being implemented. And that's what he's saying. Some of these things are always there to protect the development of the child, the psyche of the child.
So let's say cabinet meets on it.
Yeah.
Let's say it's rolled out. I was asking Leo that same question. Can these young ones still find ways of accessing these same videos?
Of course.
But people have already downloaded it.
Yes.
And we have perverts, like I was saying a while ago, who have already, who can say, I have access to the site.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years old. I'm 19 years old. You are what? You are 10 years old. You're 12 years old. I have access to the site. I'm showing it to you. So what about that? I've already downloaded it. I've shared it with you on your device. How about that?
So those ones could be there, but that doesn't take the fact that currently access to porn sites are so free, and these children are holding mobile phones, right? And there is no censorship on it. And it's not that maybe, so sometimes even the parents may not even have the know-how to even block it. If you are the ones controlling the device, you have a way of blocking it out. You can just blacklist a certain website that the child cannot find access to. But not every parent knows this. Now, what he is advocating for is a broader solution. You know what? Why can't, as a nation, why can't we block all of these sites, so that even if you have to have entry, then you have to show us some form of identification, just to show. Even the porn sites that are free, that will give you those things free, they would ask you of your age and all before you enter. They know.
But that one is just 18.
It's just that. It's just that.
It doesn't ask for anything.
So there's not enough censorship there.
There's nothing.
All it says is, this is
are you male or female? Are you 18?
Exactly.
You just start when you go. That's it.
So there could be something that is done, and other countries, they've done that. In China, you can't access these things, and as he rightly said,
and there are even pop-ups. There are children who have their own tablets that they're even using it for educational purposes, and there are pop-ups that come up unannounced.
Yes.
And when that pop-up keeps coming up, you're tempted to click on a site to go see what is there.
Exactly. And these have been woven into the I forgot the right word. They have a word for it. The entire computerized system picks whatever it is that you are doing and just pop it up to you. And that is what it does. If the child tries to look for something, the machine understands it and starts giving that pop-ups to the child. And that is in fact, it's a huge raise. I think it's a huge step to curb the bigger problem we know, which is porn addiction, and a broader problem that is social deterioration that could happen when these things are exposed to a child.
What role would you say parents have in there? So when does the parent come in here, the teacher come in here, the religious bodies come in here? Because to me, these in our society, these people in our society, the groupies in our society, are the ones who are supposed to shape us. Laws are good, but these are the people that we engage with on a daily basis. So from the parent, from the school, from the religious bodies, what are they getting wrong that is making this, fester or go on?
It is the influx of internet access, or if I may put it there, the sheer broadening of access to the internet, especially in Ghana, that is making it very difficult for all of these people that we've mentioned, teachers, parents, religious bodies, to even control. When we were growing up, there was only one television station, GTV. When they have not started, you don't have anything else. You have to interact with those in the house. So you get a direct control from parents. But now, there's so many things a child is exposed to. There's so many things the child can actually use to engage themselves. And that is where there's a problem. The child will go to church, is supposed to read, they don't read it. The Bible is on the phone or on the tablet. This same tablet is the tablet that the child will use to access these things. If you give it to the child to read, you step out and then they move from there to something else. How can you control? It's very difficult it's an enormous job for parents and some of these individuals to actually do the job that they are supposed to do. And therefore, some form of censorship from the national level, because especially all the internet service providers in Ghana are supposed to be regulated by government. If we can put something there that would, one way or the other, curb that, just the access. Of course, there would, as you were saying, there would be some people that will still find ways of doing it. At least that would be narrow, and then we can reach out to them. But right now, it's so difficult that anybody, if a 2-year-old can just pick up a phone, you have 4-year-olds that can just pick up a phone and just open it.
They don't know your password, but they're able to still have access to the.
Some of them can even look at you punching your password, especially those that use the passcode. They look at it and then when you're not there, they open it. And then they will go to where they want to go to. And sometimes when you listen, just like the scenario that you were describing, the picture, the video that somebody took, sometimes when children don't know you are there, the conversation they have, they are so graphic, sometimes it's scary.
You talk about addiction.
Yes.
What about porn makes it so addictive? And is there help for people who are addicted to porn?
There is help. Now, porn is basically sex, right? One of the activities or one of the things that is actually able to stimulate the pleasure points or the pleasure center of the human being naturally is sex. No matter the age, is sex. Now, there are other substances that are there that actually go beyond that. There is a lot of research that points to that. Naturally, that sex was supposed to get you there. But there are other things that could go. Cocaine can go beyond that. Heroin, a lot of it now can go beyond that. And when the pleasure points are stimulated that way, and then the person gets used to it, the persons run after it the moment they face any kind of difficulty, whether it is a physical difficulty, whether it's a psychological one or not. The person needs to soothe it. That's natural. It's a natural trigger. You're going through something difficult, you need to soothe it. Then the person falls on that every time. If the mind, the brain understands that this is where I get pleasure, which is linked to calmness and comfort, then I would always go there. Now the child starts, if the child is exposed to it, or if not even the child, the individual is exposed to this, every time they are going through difficulties, they would go to that particular act, they would go to that particular thing, and then it suits it. And that is why it is very addictive. And this is me explaining it in very, very plain sense. There's a technical way to explain it, but this is the plain sense. Because that pleasure point is stimulated, and the human being is wired in such a way that you get attached to whatever that gives you pleasure. You always go back to it the moment you face the slightest uncomfort or discomfort. And you see, it's worse when it comes to this, because sometimes even your mind psychologically creates the pain when there is no pain. If you get so close a link to these pleasure points, it creates the pain when there is no pain. So you even go to it when you are not really facing anything. You're just there, and you just create the pain in your mind or the discomfort in your mind, and then you go to.
But then he'll just enter the room.
Somebody is just playing, or sure he's watching TV, and then you just enter the room because people will see, and just go and do it.
I remember the same St. George, and the fact that somebody did some photo shoots in Parliament.
They edited
and said he was watching porn in Parliament, which of course wasn't true. And growing up, I heard stories about people who would invite ladies to their homes and put on porn just to be able to lure them to bed.
Yeah.
Others would tell you rather use a horror movie and all that. So this mindset about sex.
It's a problem. That's why I'm saying that his approach is in the right direction, because the government of the country needs to do something about it. Look at our information systems right now, information centers, in the morning, even our radios. I'm sure you guys have a way of curbing it here, but on our radios, it looks as if all men are sick in Ghana.
They're advertising sex enhancement medications.
And the commentary around the adverts is appalling. And we forget that kids are listening to this. This is even a trigger for a kid that is holding a phone to start looking for what they are talking about. And you have to stay longer in bed. Okay, longer in bed. What does that mean? Kids right now don't have difficulty understanding what it means, and then they want to go see it.
Google and then
And when they keep seeing it, this is the effect that it will have on them. And so everything that we are doing right now, especially within our own social space, seems to just reinforce kids to go and even search, even if the kid doesn't really want to, even if the kid doesn't really know it. We put something in the mind of the child that this is something that you should one way or the other, you should find out one day. And then they would, because the access to it is so easy.
Leo, one of your concerns was privacy.
Yeah.
Explain that concern you have.
It's just basically using your personal details to, feed into these websites and what they can be used for. We all know that most of these websites sell people's information to other companies for advertising and all of that. This is a problem that we are dealing with with social media apps and all of that. Putting personal information on top of this one will just compound to the problem. And that is where my main concern is. What if somebody gets access to it somehow and then use it to blackmail you or whatever? One of the things that, you know, with iPhones and all that, we have the private side and the public side. So if you go to the public site, you can check everything that I have searched for. If you go to the private, which needs a facial recognition or a code, and you go there, you might see things that you are not supposed to see. So imagine if my search history drops somewhere, BBN, BBW, you know, all of those things. The risk that is involved in that area. What if somebody is a politician, and then you get hold of information like that? Say, this is what you are using, you know, your phone to. All of that, the safety bits.
What about the fact that we have children aged 13, 14, 15, 16 who are also engaging in sexual acts and recording themselves, who organize sex parties?
Which is very common nowadays.
They organize sex parties. Would you say that psychologically is what they're saying in the porn videos that they are themselves practicing? Because
exactly. Where would they get that from? That is where they are getting it from. And you see, like I said, the child is trying to find pleasure in play or academic activity. That's supposed to be the norm. Whatever that you are teaching the child is supposed to move their pleasure from wherever it was to that. Now, that is what is available. So they would want to master it or get better at it or do better than what they saw. And therefore, they do some of these things. And it is where they are drawing every pleasure they are having from.
But when you say they are not aware what they are doing, it beats my mind.
No, awareness is different from understanding or knowledge itself. Awareness is different.
That I understand. I'm asking because there are occasions where they are aware that what they're doing is wrong, aren't they?
They know, so that they will hide it.
Exactly. Well, they want to watch it in their own small corner. And when somebody's coming, they put, even adults, that's what adults do.
But have you realized that when they are doing it and they are among their peers, they don't hide it?
If they're comfortable with their peers, yes.
So that is the next generation. That is the next world. When they are with their peers, they know that your generation, you don't accept that. So they hide it from you.
Even their peers, the one they're not comfortable with, the one who see themselves as pro cafe and all that.
Anybody that they see you as aligned to the older generation, they would hide it from you because the idea is that you would alert the older generation. But when they grow up and they now become the ones in charge, like right now, us, and those, you know us, our generation, those that were exposed to porn early, you know how they are.
Womanizers.
You get it. So it's just because they hide it, knowing very well, they understand that this thing, my pastor, my teacher, my parents, whoever does not accept it, and therefore I will not exhibit it there. Right. But if they know that it is just their peers and they are just there, why not?
And Leo that to the fact that not too long ago the porns were available on cassettes. And then they were on discs. Right now we don't have the cassettes and the discs available anymore.
No. And even that one, you have to employ some FBI taxes. It was extremely difficult to access it.
Listeners, you can join us now, but Danny, you have not answered my question. Maybe a parent has a child who's addicted to porn and the parent wants to help the child. I mean, you tell us about how to help the child break the addiction and stop watching porn and all that. But to our listeners out there, is this the way to go? I mean, I just want to know from you. You can call us now at 03220 83596 03220 83597 03220 83598. So this debate is it really about pornography, or does it reflect a broader struggle between protecting public morality and preserving individual freedoms in the digital space? I just want to know from you, is this the way to go? Will this help us? What some judges are proposing, is this something you support? Do you support it? Do you buy into it? That we should ensure that we block the porn sites. For you to be able to have an access to a pornographic site, then you should be able to produce your driver's license, your Ghana card. I mean, is this something that will help our children? Because if this one is engraved on the minds of our children, it's deadly. It is deadly, it's dangerous. So join us now. Kofi Bedu, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good to have you.
Good. Dave, you see, we should learn to accept truth, even if it is coming from our enemies. Because I'm saying this because of how some of the NPP MPs are taking this. Is it that they don't want their children to be protected by this? Look, this proposal has been in my mind for so long. So I'm just should broaden it a bit because, you see, banning the children, the teenagers from accessing social media has been implemented in many countries. Many countries, Australia, Sweden, and many more, including France. Look, when France introduced this, these teenagers thought that they are curtailing their freedom, they are punishing them and all that. But today, as we speak, these children have come to a realization that they were being protected. Now, they are sticking to their lessons. And even if you ask the lecturers, some of the lecturers have even admitted, the teachers in France, they have admitted that it has now helped the students. And their academic level has been so high. So now they are very happy. So why is it that when they sometimes want to introduce it, some people are kicking against it? Like I said, is it that no one their children to be protected by this? That's our differences aside and accept it. I all for it. And I don't understand when you open your phone, sometimes you come to your phone all at once. So the law is supposed to be also be made to punish those.
So Kofi Bedu, thank you very much. Ekia, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. How are you?
I'm well, Ekia. Your thoughts, please.
I can sense the passion and the pain in the sense speaker. You see, I am talking as a teacher and a headmistress in a senior high school. And I've been married for 26 years, but I got to know about contraceptives from students. Can you imagine? I got to know about contraceptives from students. Apparently, they were having a discussion, and I heard Lydia, whatever, and I'm like, what is it? And they were laughing at me. I was by then a house mistress. They were laughing at me. That they were surprised I didn't know. And I was married and I had 2 kids. There's the sense to which the children know. They know everything. I mean, we growing up, when your mommy's tummy comes up, you will be asking, and then they'll tell you it's diarrhea. And this time they don't ask because they know. I am a Sunday school teacher, and a junior husband of mine is also a Sunday teacher. There was one time he went to Sunday school, and the kids were playing, and one of them said, this is what the child said innocently. So after the Sunday school, he called me and I told him, go search for the parents of the child and talk to them to be mindful because they were living in a single room. This is the bane of parenting now. So it is something we have to do something about.
Yeah, so when you found out that they were having a conversation about contraceptives, what did you do?
I counseled them. I got to know from them that this is contraceptive, you take it this, and that. And I said, wow. So what do you do with it? And they were like, hey, madam, we use it. And I'm like, wow, what do you use it for? And they kept on laughing at me.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us. Sapong, hold the line for us. Kofi, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Dave. Sometimes it's so worrying when government wants to introduce anything. You find one member of the minority in parliament come out quickly to condemn and make unnecessary noise. Look, David, this thing that you are discussing is causing a lot of troubles in homes. Look, here in our house here, there's a couple who have 3 children. One is a female and the other 2 are, one is a male and the other 2 are female, 5 years and 8 years respectively. And the guy is 14. Do you know that this guy is having porno on his phone, and he's been watching it until say 2 a.m. This guy would not sleep. This thing, he became addicted such that every night he had to defile his own sister who is 8 years. It took a man of God who called the mother and told the mother that this is what your boy is doing in your room. And the mother decided that he will not sleep. He will watch and see if he will catch him red-handed. And lo and behold, he caught him red-handed with his hand, with his finger inside her sister. Look at this. He has become so addicted that he wants to practice it, and he is practicing it with his own sister. So if issue like this come and we are discussing, and you will find a member of parliament being a minority member making unnecessary noise and wants to brush out everything and condemn everything, that MP, I think he needs help.
Thanks very much, Kofi. Sapon, good morning.
I think we lost Sapon there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, your name?
I'm Francis.
Francis, what are your thoughts?
Joe, I didn't see the screen. Oh.
Come again?
What are your thoughts, Francis?
The video that David was describing. You see, the students were on their way home, I suppose so, and they were showing that behavior. So could they have shown those sexual behaviors at school or at home? I don't know. It depends on their upbringing. So in the community, you see, the community has a role to play. Gone are those days, you see, some elderly man or person would have gotten them, beaten them the hell out of them. But today, if you want to do that, it's about human rights issue. So you see, the thing is that we have to inculcate, you see, everything that we think their norms or their morals, we should legalize them. Because nowadays, you see, whether we like it or not, the media is around. You see, the media is there. You see, parents are not at home. Children are watching TV and they are watching all these kinds of things. We have been experiencing this in my home. And you see, the TV is giving me a big problem. The TV. And you have to control it. You have controls on the TV. And sometimes when they are watching some of these movies, it pops up. You are not there. You are just around the house. It pops and they watch. So it's a really big problem that we are facing as a society. And you see, government and other stakeholders will have to sit down for us to see how to tackle this right from the home up to the school level and everywhere. Because it's very, very serious.
All right, Francis, thanks very much for joining us. 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. Christophe, hold the line for me. Mansour, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Dave.
Yes, hey, sir.
Mr. Dave, he should broaden it up. Look, some of the telenovelas are the worst culprit, and they keep showing this kind of telenovelas around 6 to 9, where the kids are in the house. Seriously, he should broaden it up to the telenovela. Seriously, if a telenovela is, they are showing some.
Hello, Mansour.
We lost him there, did we?
Yeah, I think so.
So, Christophe, good morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, Christophe, welcome. Your thoughts on the conversation, please.
Yes. David, I hope you are all fine, and this is a good show, David. You see, anything about pornography, nudity, nakedness, we should avoid our children going to work. David, that's why I wasn't too happy about the tablet being shared to us today in the senior high schools. Find out from people what they do with it. Find out. They don't even sleep. The whole night they'll be searching, they'll be perusing, they'll be watching all kinds of things. And in the productive hours of the day in the class, you see them sleeping in the classrooms. Check them. David, now when your children take your phone, the things they can do with it, you have no idea. The sites they can go, you have no idea. So if an issue coming, we are saying, let's protect our people by letting them show something before they be able to watch it. License and all that, your picture and all that, your age. And then somebody is saying, then you should know the kind of people they are. David, pornography indeed is spoiling our children. And the earlier we act, the better for ourselves.
Well, I'm surprised that, Christoph is talking about the fact that they have the tablets in their dormitories, because I know in some of the schools you just use it in the classroom, in the library. You don't take it to the dormitory, because in the dormitory these things can happen. So if there's a school that's allowing the students to take it to the dormitory, I think that they should stop that. It's for the classroom, it's for the library, and that's it. Do we have Hassan on the line?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Hassan. Let's hear you, sir.
Good morning to everybody. Good morning to my Muslim brothers, as Shuma Mubarak. I think what some judge is doing, we all applaud what he's doing. When you have kids in the house, that's when you need to understand. I'm raising 4 girls, and raising them is never easy. It needs a lot of concentration and a lot of media checks on them. Because something, the Western world is trying to weaponize us with all these things and destroy us. You go to your email, there are certain emails that comes to you which you've never even subscribed, but it's on you. So definitely they are pushing most of our MPs and everybody with monies to understand all these things. But I don't know why they don't understand all this. Laws are made by us as men. Definitely, maybe there might be 2 or 3 clauses of this LGBT thing that you will not like for now. But definitely later on, we can at least upgrade whatever we're doing. So whatever the parliament is doing right now, I'm fully in support of it. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Hassan there. Mansour, we lost you, but you're back. Good to have you. Let's hear you.
Mr. Dean, as I was saying, the telenovelas, seriously, they should do something about the telenovelas. It's one of our biggest problems nowadays, Mr. Dean. And look, MPPs should please spare us the politics. They should please spare us the politics. And let's suppose this deal for the betterment of our kids. Mr. Dean, it's not easy. Seriously. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mansour, for joining us as well. But I was asking a question of you earlier.
Yeah.
That how do we deal with this? How do we fix the problem? I mean, if it's an addiction, so let's say somebody has a child who's addicted to pornography, for example.
Yes.
How do you go about it? How do you get the child off pornography?
So there are different forms of therapies that are used actually to deal with this. But I can say that it's one of the most difficult addictions to deal with. If it's a substance one, that is easy. You are targeting total abstinence. But this has something to do with the person's sexuality, and you are not talking about total abstinence. It has to get to a certain level, and that's what makes it a little very, very difficult.
So as long as you have sexual arousal,
exactly,
it will always be linked to something.
Exactly.
But that is their turkey.
Yes.
The turkey for the drug people is when they don't have the drug in the system, they want the cocaine. So that's their turkey.
Yes, and it's very difficult, and it takes a lot of effort from the person that is going through it. And you see, for a child, the modalities within it is a little bit different from when it's an adult, because the child doesn't really understand it. And if it's really a teenager, it's also even worse, because then every step of the way, they have to understand and accept it before they even go through with every step.
And I was even saying earlier that even for adults who say, well, they're adults, they are watching it, it's even also dangerous for them, because, for example, the woman sees a man, maybe there's something going on for like 30 minutes straight up or 1 hour straight up. You might think that that's how men should also behave. No wonder many of the men of today are trying to get the sexually enhanced drugs, which of course is also affecting their kidneys and even their erection. And then they see all the anal sex. I mean, nobody is born and you say you want to go sleep with a male. And it's these sides that's facing the problem. So for me, when politicians raise issues, let's try as much as possible to look at the pros and the cons. When we look at both sides and we weigh, we need to pick the best that will help us as a people. Because if you have a child who grew up to become a pervert, if you have a child who grew up and do some crazy, silly things, get diseases and stuff like that, and then you sit back and you say you're crying and you're worried about it, I believe what we need to do is we nip it in the bud early. So if managing it is what's going to help us, why don't we go for it? Leo was saying that, well, instead of saying that you're curtailing or asking people to use their cards and all,
your personal information,
they should rather make it a page site. But you're not for it.
No, because then that would mean that the government is probably making some money out of this, and that will bring a whole new different argument. The total banning of those sites and only accessibility to those that are above the legal age is what may help. And the only thing is that for me, my understanding is that Sam George starting this conversation is good. He has started something. There are questions that are raised. So if there's an argument and somebody raises the counter argument, that's fine. But then it gives us the opportunity to look at how then are we going to implement this. We are all for it. How then are we going to implement it? We are scared that if you put your information there, somebody also can just use that.
Maybe what it's also going to do for us is that it's going to reduce the number of people who even visit the site too.
Of course.
So it will even help adults in 10. So I'm for it too. The only thing that I'm scared of is
the documents you're going to use.
Exactly, and how it may be used against you in the future.
And that is important. Legally, that is important. What you do with public information, that is important. So I'm all for it.
Kojo, you are our last caller. Good morning.
Good morning, David. Thanks for having me. I think that this issue is a very serious one that we must all look at it holistically. I mean, it's really disturbing. And I'm a teacher. And sometimes when you go to class, you see students with phone and you'll be thinking that maybe they are doing a research or something. You go and find out that they are watching, porn. And all these, their friends surrounding them. So you can see the impact that, they are doing. And in some cases, you see that whilst, during break time, and while they are sitting there, some of the guys will be there with their hands, in the girls' private part, and the other way around. So it's a very serious issue that we must all look at it, and we should stop, politicizing it. Some are blaming NPP. I think that they were saying that the one part has been trivialized, and so they should look at it and more, and then bring the older one, which will even prevent children from accessing all these things and all those. So I think that we should stop talking about politics with this one, and then we'll come together as a nation and ensure that the right thing is done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kojo. Do we have David on the line? Looks like David was squeezed in. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are definitely our last caller. Let's hear you say.
Thank you very much. I had a school, a public school, and the issue you are talking about, I'm talking about basic school. The issue you are talking about is very, very serious. So I see no reason why the MP, isn't the Honorable Andam or something like that, commented and tried to politicize it and all that. Look, this will help our children in the future. And it will also curtail the rate at which the youth visit porn sites and the rippling effect on them in their actions and the sort of things they do. Go to the tertiary institutions. You will be amazed at the sort of things they do. They spend several hours visiting porn sites and doing all sort of things. Please, let's support so that these things should be curtailed or should be nipped in the bud. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, David. A message here. It says, good morning, David. Interesting discussion. It can never be okay to accept the symptoms of an illness as normal. These individuals need help, and we would not be encouraging more people to develop abnormally. Society has contributed the wrong conditioning of children, and we are seeing the results. We need to wake up and protect the developing brain as our responsibility to ensure holistic maturation. Let's have a forum to discuss the factors that contribute to healthy development of children. And this is coming from Dr. Pell. And he says, good morning to my senior boss, Danny.
So, Dr. Appel, thanks very much for the message, and also thanks very much for listening. To all of you who did the listening, we appreciate you a lot. And for those of you who spent time to call us, thank you very much as well. We're going for a weekend. We'll be back on Monday with more. But before the weekend starts for us, we'll join the feed in Accra. The conversation is going to be about agribusiness, the opportunities that are available in there. So if you're somebody who wants to benefit from these businesses, from the agribusiness sector, stay tuned, because that conversation comes up your way shortly.
As I lay me down, heaven hear me now. I'm lost without a cause, after giving it my all. Winter storms have come and darkened my sun. After all that I've been through, who on earth can I turn to? I look to you, I look to you. After all my strength is gone,